Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Wednesday, June 7th. We've got a 12-game main slate today. And before we get started, I'm going to do a quick little recap of last night. I usually don't do recaps. I usually save that for Twitter, because I know most of you guys watching my videos come here for advice. You don't really care about the recaps. But looking at my lineups tonight, they look really good. My FanDuel lineup has near 200 points already, and it's like half of the PIR is still remaining, so it's looking like a crazy night on FanDuel. My DraftKings lineup's also very solid as well. I just looked at it before I started recording, and I had like 103 points, and I had like 56 PIR remaining. I still got Paxton to go, Valencia, a few more guys as well, so looking like a really good night tonight. No, I did not play Scooter Gennett, sadly. Right when I started recording this video, I just got the notification on my phone that he hit his 4th home run of the night, which is crazy. He was like the minimum price on FanDuel, and I definitely considered him, I guess, but he wasn't really somebody that I was going to play. If I needed a cheap punt, he was in consideration, but I never really typed his name or even clicked on his name, so no, I'm not going to lie about that and say I was actually going to play him. But other than that, it looks like a pretty good night tonight. I will post my full lineup on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Be sure to follow me, guys, on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Sometime in the morning or maybe before I go to bed, if the games are over before I go to bed, I will post my full lineup on Twitter. So be sure to follow me on Twitter if you want to see my lineups results. And if you are interested in getting in on the lineup subscriptions, you can follow me on Twitter as well. The lineups are $5 a day. Or $25 for a week of lineups. So message me on Twitter if you are interested in that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with today's breakdown. Alright, so looking at pitcher today, your two top options are Dallas Keuchel and Zach Greinke, in my opinion. I don't think I'm going to be on Yu Darvish today. So looking at Keuchel and Greinke, right now I'm leaning Zach Greinke for 100 less than Keuchel. I definitely think Keuchel is in play. Keuchel has been great this year, but so is Zach Greinke. He gets a terrific matchup pitching against the Padres. I hate that this game is in Chase Field. Chase Field is one of the most hitter-friendly parks. But Greinke has pitched well at home this year, and if you look at Greinke's splits this year, at home he actually pitches better at home, which is surprising since that's such a hitter-friendly park. Through 8 games this year at home, he has averaged 24 DraftKings points, and through 5 games on the road, Greinke has only averaged 18. Then if you look at versus the Padres, he's already faced the Padres twice this year, and in those 2 games, he's averaged 30 DraftKings points. I believe the first 2 games he played this year were against the Padres. Yeah, he played in the first game he played against them at San Diego. He had 26 DraftKings points, and then he pitched against them again at home and had 33. So he's already dominated this team twice this year. If you look at Greinke so far this year, he has just been so dominant, especially when it comes to his strikeouts. He has upped his strikeout rate over 9%. Greinke has really been dominant this year. He's looked like the Greinke that we've seen in past years. So far this year, he has posted a 29.7 K rate, which is insane. He's also lowered his walk rate a little bit as well, so he's lowering the walks. Hitters aren't hitting him well either, only hitting a 211 average versus Greinke this year. So he has just been so dominant. And then if you look at his matchup versus the Padres, we know the Padres strike out a ton versus right-handed pitchers. So far this year versus righties, they're striking out second most in the league behind the Rays with a 25.8% K rate versus right-handed pitchers. And they're also hitting righties pretty bad as well, only hitting a 228 average and a 292 WOBA. So this is such a good spot for Greinke. I think he has the most upside on the slate. So I love Zach Greinke today. Is my SP1 at 12,400. And then for my SP2, I'm going to be looking at the mid-range here. And I absolutely love Michael Fulmer today. 8,500, getting a matchup against the Angels. Fulmer has also faced this team already this year. He faced them once, and in that one game, he had 28 DraftKings points in that one game. He pitched 7 innings, only allowed 1 run, and had 7 strikeouts. Very solid game. Michael Fulmer, he's just a consistent guy. He pitches deep into game. He rarely gets blown up. If you look at his last 4 games, in his innings pitched, he's pitched 7, 8, 7, and 7 innings in his last 4 games. In those 4 games, he's put up 15, 16, 16, and 15 DraftKings points. So we know Fulmer is very consistent. Now his upside, he doesn't have like 30 to 40 point upside that you really want for GPPs. But for cash games, I love Michael Fulmer. He's just so consistent. And if you look at his matchup, it is a pretty solid matchup. Not the most upside here because the Angels don't really strike out versus righties. So far this year versus righties, they're only striking out 19.9% of the time, which ranks 23rd. But offensively, they don't hit righties well at all, only hitting a 236 average and a 302 WOBA. With Mike Trout out of this lineup, this Angels team is definitely a team that you can pick on. So I absolutely love Michael Fulmer today. Is my SP2, 8,500. I love this matchup, and I love the price tag as well. I'm definitely gonna be giving you guys 3 value hitters today. When you plug in Greinke and Fulmer, that only leaves you an average of 3,600 remaining. So, going to give you 2 value plays and then one guy that I like a little bit more expensive, but I think he's way underpriced. So for my first value play, I'm going to be looking at catcher today as a punt play that I really like is Jonathan Lucroy, just 2,800, getting a matchup against Zach Wheeler. I absolutely love this spot for Lucroy, and I absolutely love the price tag as well. 2,800 just seems way too cheap for Lucroy. He's definitely been cold lately, so maybe that's the reason his price tag is so cheap. In his last 4 games, he's only put up 3, 0, 3, and 3 DraftKings points. So like I said, he's definitely been cold, but I love him to bounce back today. Zach Wheeler is definitely a solid pitcher, but he will struggle at times. The weather right now in Texas, it's looking like it's going to be great hitting weather today. I think it's 82 degrees. I just looked at it. I think it's 82 degrees with like 52% humidity. So it's going to be very hot in Texas, very humid, which is great hitting weather. So I really like Jonathan Lucroy today for a catcher value play that you're probably going to need if you want to play Greinke and Fulmer. When you plug in Lucroy, he gives you a little bit of extra salary boost. So I really like Jonathan Lucroy today for a value play at catcher that you can target at 2,800. And then at outfield, I got 2 guys here that I really like. First off, I think this guy is way too cheap. Probably one of my favorite plays today. That's Mookie Betts at just 4,400, going up against CC Sabathia. Why in the heck Mookie Betts is 4,400 against Sabathia, I have no idea. That is way too cheap for Mookie. He is one of the best hitters in the league, and this is a terrific matchup. CC Sabathia has just been absolute gas can this year. He has really struggled. And Mookie Betts is going to be getting the platoon advantage against Sabathia. He does hit lefties very well. And in his last 2 games, Mookie has really started to heat up, putting up 12 and 14 DraftKings points. So I really like Mookie Betts today. He's just one of the best hitters in the league. There's not much I need to say. He has so much upside. He has power. Already had 9 home runs this year. He has speed as well. Already had 9 stolen bases. So this is a great spot for Mookie. He has so much upside here. And he also has pretty good BVP against Sabathia as well. In 11 at-bats against Sabathia, Mookie has had 5 hits. Those 5 hits have resulted in a 4.55 average. So Mookie has seen him well in a small amount of time. So I love Mookie Betts today. I think he is severely underpriced on DraftKings at just 4,400. One of my favorite plays today at outfield with that really cheap price tag. Then for my second outfielder, I'm going to be looking at another guy on the Red Sox that I think is too cheap. That's Chris Young at just 3,200. Also getting a matchup against CC Sabathia. Absolutely love Chris Young today as a value play. I just looked at the Red Sox projected lineup. Chris Young is projected to bat second, which I would absolutely love if he did. Even if he doesn't bat second, he usually bats 4th or 5th versus a lefty. So Chris Young, great value play today at just 3,200. We know he is a lefty matcher. Anytime you get Chris Young versus a bad lefty, you definitely got to take advantage of that. So I really like Chris Young today as another value play. I'm really liking the Red Sox all around. I think they're a pretty good stack today. CC, he's just not a good pitcher. He doesn't have it anymore. So you can definitely target some of these Red Sox bats. And I love doing that with Mookie Betts today. And Chris Young as well for value at just 3,200. So these are my top 5 plays for tonight, guys. I went with Zach Greinke, Michael Fulmer, Jonathan Lucroy, Mookie Betts, and Chris Young. When you plug those 5 guys in your DK lineup, that gives you an average of 3,700, over 3,700 remaining per player, which you can definitely work around. Find a couple of value plays that you like, build around that lineup. But now I'm going to give you guys some other players that you can roster so you can finish out the lineup if you want to use some of my picks. I'm going to give you not strictly value plays. I'm going to give you more value plays than normal. But other pitchers that I like, besides the 2 pitchers that I gave, like I said, I definitely think Dallas Keuchel is worth paying up for. But right now I'm leaning Greinke. I think Greinke has way more upside. At the mid-range, some mid-range pitchers I like besides Michael Fulmer. I like Jimmy Nelson today, and I like Jake Odorizzi. Catcher, if you want to pay up, Yadier Molina looks like a pretty solid play against Bronson Arroyo. I love that. Like Chris Herman, if you're looking for a mid-range catcher. Then my value play at catcher is Jonathan Lucroy. First base, if you want to pay up here, I like Logan Morrison. Then for value at first base, I like Matt Carpenter, and I like Kenny Fargas. Second base, I don't think I'm going to be paying up here. There's some good value plays I like at second base. So at second base for value, I like Cesar Hernandez. I really like Brian Dozier today at just 3,600. 3,600 seems way too cheap for Brian Dozier. Getting a matchup against Giovanni Gallardo, so absolutely love Brian Dozier for value. Then if you like to chase points, Scooter Gennett, second base, you can definitely target him. He actually has pretty solid BVP against Lance Lynn, so I definitely think Scooter Gennett's in play. He's probably going to be insanely highly owned just because of how he did last night. But Scooter Gennett, second base value play, I really like that. At third base, I really like Josh Harrison for value. I also like third base value plays. Don't think I'm going to be paying up here. So I like Josh Harrison at third base. I like Hernan Perez, and I like Evan Longoria. Shortstop, if you want to pay up, I like Xander Bogaerts. Like I said, I like the Red Sox today as a stack, so I like Xander, just 4,500. Shortstop mid-range, I like Didi Gregorius. And if you need a value play at shortstop, I like Elemis Diaz going up against Bronson Arroyo. You can definitely target some Cardinals bats today. Then at outfield, if you want to pay up for an outfielder, I like paying up for Mookie today, but I also really love Nelson Cruz against a lefty. I definitely think that's a good outfielder you can pay up for. But then some other outfield value plays I like, all under 4K or less. I like David Peralta, I like Abdul Herrera, and I like Colby Rasmus. And then I also like Chris Young as well for outfield value. So yeah, those are some other picks that I like at each position. Like I said, you guys can use my top 5 plays, use some of those picks that I gave, maybe use some of your picks and build a lineup out of that. Or if you want to get my lineups, like I said at the beginning of the video, be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. All my results will be posted on Twitter. So if you want to see my results, you can go there. And if you want to contact me to get lineups, just message me, tell me you want lineups, and I'll hook you up. Even if you play on FanDuel, I give out FanDuel lineups as well. So be sure to message me on Twitter if you are interested in getting in on the lineup subscriptions. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you did enjoy. If this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. And if you never want to miss out on any of my videos, you can actually scroll down to where the subscribe button is. There's a little bell icon. You can click that bell icon, and that'll actually notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, you can do that as well, guys. I would really appreciate it. You guys have been killing it lately with the views. I really appreciate it. My views have really started to trend up lately. So keep killing it with the support. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
It's the perfect timing. Bumping K-Trinata. My homeboy's a prophet. Told me no one can stop ya. The feeling is mutual. This love thing is voodoo. In love with things you do. I'm geeked off the pro, man. She up off that pay.